As I was reading the YouTube comments this morning, a consistent theme came out from those comments. A variety of people out there believe that the 2024 Toyota Tacoma fuel economy is terrible. MPGs are awful. It's a terrible waste of a little four banger. It should get much better fuel economy. And I've heard this from other places as well. And so I thought to myself, so is that accurate? I do that a lot. And I thought, well, I don't know if it is. And as a journalist, I'm always really curious about information like this. I thought, let's put together a chart. I spent a couple hours this morning at this whole chart with I got horsepower, torque, fuel size, octane level, fuel economy of all the midsize trucks. I think it's pretty cool. So I want to share with you guys, the audience here on YouTube. Hey, it's Tim, Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk. Let's go ahead and go to the website and we'll talk through the details on this. So if you go to pickuptrucktalk.com, you'll see a couple things. You'll see on the homepage, I just published it. You also can find it in the gears and guides section, or go be a member of the forum. Yeah, brand new forum. Really cool. I'm kind of excited about that. And by the way, this is the slowest I can talk. Sorry for those that are making those comments. The 2024 midsize truck fuel economy, or MPG, horsepower, torque, and fuel tank size, plus octane as well. So if you scroll down the story, I have some words written in there, and I have links to the changes and first drive articles we've done on these different trucks. And if you go all the way down, you'll find the holy grail of information. Yes, we have the chart here that has all information of all these trucks. And so what I want to start here is I'm not going to read them all off, but I kind of want to pull out a few details. So I'm going to explain the chart. We have the vehicle, we have the engine, and in Chevrolet's case and GMC case, these are all turbocharged engines. We have fuel economy for two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive. I separated them out as best I could. I got all the data I could. I went to the media sites I use, went to manufacturers' websites like Chevrolet.com. I went to fueleconomy.gov. I dug every detail I could. It took me a couple hours, so I hope you guys appreciate this. Click like if you do. We have octane, we have fuel tank size, and so that was really interesting. So a few things stand out to me, right? So the Colorado work truck is detuned because its duty cycle is a little bit different than the regular consumer grade. And I'll explain more about duty cycle and how that matters into these numbers at the end of this video. If you remember, write that down. We also have the octane, and we have fuel tank size. Fuel tank size is really interesting. I didn't realize it varied so much. And fuel tank size doesn't really matter unless you're driving road trip or you're towing. And then it really kind of matters. Those extra couple of gallons do make a difference. And I know that because I have that Silverado. It has a small gas tank on it, and I really want a bigger tank. We have the two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, LT. You're going to see in the Trail Boss Z71 and the ZR2, the fuel economy goes right. So bigger tires, bigger lift, aerodynamics, physics. That's how that stuff works. As we go down the GMC Canyon, we can see the same kind of numbers. You know, your AT4X or your ZR2 all have about the same. These are all, again, EPA estimated numbers, manufacturer EPA estimated numbers. Basically, the manufacturer goes out and does the testing and submits numbers to EPA, and EPA can decide whether or not it wants to verify those or not, but that's how it works. We have the high output 2.7. Remember, in 2024, I should go back, that the mid-tune for the Colorado is gone, which I thought was really surprising. Spent a lot of time working on that. Then within 4 months of the vehicle's launch, you kill the tune. Really was confusing on that end. So we have high tune base. You can see the RPMs and the horsepower and torque. And by the way, I did screw up a video I did shot last week. The Colorado does reach max torque a lot faster than I thought it was going to do. And so if you look down the Canyon and then you look at the Ford Ranger, again, another turbocharged engines. The inline fours are all turbocharged. The only ones I can't find information about is the 2.7, which is available later. It's supposed to be later on the model year, which at this point, it's December 17th. I'm shooting this. And people keep asking about if there's first drive media drives in these vehicles or when they could buy the Ranger. I'm hearing nothing, crickets. So the UAW strike has pushed back several things. The Colorado and Canyon are delayed until January, and the Ranger, it seems like they're just having issues getting it going, getting up and going. But looking at the Ford Ranger and the two-wheel drive, pretty decent fuel economy. You know, low 20s is kind of where we're at these days with trucks. 87 octane, 18.8 gallons of fuel. What's really fascinating to me, and I thought it was really shocking, not shocking, or just fascinating to me as a journalist, the 3-liter V6 that's in the Ranger Raptor has the most horsepower and torque. Again, I can't find the RPM information, but it's 91 octane. It's the only midsize truck on the list that requires or recommends premium fuel to reach its torque and horsepower numbers. Now, you can use regular fuel in a lot of these trucks, but you won't get the same fuel economy or performance in that Ranger Raptor if you do that. It does also have a larger fuel tank, so it's 20.3 gallons. So they basically gave you a gallon and a half more fuel, and then you got to get more premium. I don't know. I don't know. If you think that's interesting, hit the like button or comment down below. Honda Ridgeline 3.5 liter V6. You have a couple different versions. The only real change is that Trail Sport. That Trail Sport's got more aggressive tires and more aggressive off-road look to it for a Honda Ridgeline. I get it. Unibody hate for that truck. I understand. But fuel economy is pretty average, I think, for the segment. And you're using 87 octane, 19.5 gallons of fuel. Jeep Gladiator, yeah. City's pretty bad. Highway's not bad. Combined, it's okay. I like to see these numbers all in the low to mid 20s. That's kind of where I'm shooting for fuel economy. Looking at this, you have 22 gallon tanks, so really a bigger gas tank. Also, it's the longest midsize truck out there. It's over 18 foot long. The Nissan Frontier has a couple different varieties. It has the big 3.8 liter V6, the biggest cubic inch engine on our list. They have some different changes for the S, SV, SL. I listed them out because it was kind of confusing. The Pro X is a two-wheel drive. The Pro 4X is a four-wheel drive. And you can see those fuel economy numbers, how the Pro X gets a little bit better than Pro 4X because it has two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive. If you've known trucks for years, you know that a four-wheel drive truck gets less fuel economy than a two-wheel drive truck. It's equipment, it's gearing, it's everything that's made into four-wheel drive. Looking at this, 87 octane with a 21 gallon tank. And then the Toyota Tacoma, the one you guys said, it's terrible. Little four-banger needs better fuel economy. Well, actually, in the two-wheel drive and the work truck, it does pretty good. 26, 20, 23, 87 octane across the board, 18.2 gallons of fuel, though. It's one of the smaller gas tanks out there. And really surprising to me that the Chevrolets and things were in the 20s. Was it 20, 21, something like that? And this one's at 18. So I'm surprised that Toyota looked at the marketplace and decided to go with a smaller gas tank. That's it seems like you just go a little bit bigger. Just a tank, room. I don't know, room issue. I'm not really sure why. Four-wheel drive, two-wheel drive, or you can. This is where it's confusing. AT automatic transmission, MT manual transmission, and they listed so many different numbers. Holy cow! Trim levels and AT and two-wheel drive and oh the cow, which is. Here's all your data. Just listed it because I was like trying to figure this stuff out. So the TRD off-road, which is one I'm hoping to get. I have a guy who hasn't called me back. Kind of weird. 192320 on that one. And you can see the RPMs and the torque. The torque is really low RPM at max torque. So that torque's going to feel really fast offline. Faster than a V6. Let me just say it like that. Maybe that's the way I can say it without getting a lot of comments. You're looking at the gas version of the manual transmission. It's a little bit, what's the deal? A little bit less fuel economy, or this was it? Yeah, one model gallon less city for manual transmission versus automatic transmission. It's just a head scratcher, just interesting to me. And then the hybrid, the iForce Max, I think you're calling it. We don't have details yet. It's not out until spring, and they haven't released any details on that truck. And so those details will be coming. I'm hoping that sometime by April, May, we have the details. Maybe February. Who knows at this point? They've been kind of releasing details here and there. I will update this chart. So if you're looking at this video 6 months from now, go to the website. I'll put a link down below in the description and I'll pin a comment. You can go here and look at it. I will update this chart. So speaking of all that, what are it down? Oh, duty cycle. I gotta talk about that. So in the case of the Toyota Tacoma, it uses a similar engine that they use throughout Toyota's lineup. However, it's got like 58% more or different parts due to the duty cycle of that vehicle. The duty cycle means what they expect the customer to use and use that vehicle for. In a case of a truck, they expect it to be loaded down, to be off-roading fast, to be towing, to just be doing a lot more work. And as opposed to, say, an SUV that just carries people a lot of time on pavement, doesn't really tow that often. And so they change up parts. They also change the transmission shifting to handle the gearing and actually the rear gear too, to handle the towing and haul. So it's the duty cycle of the vehicle is different, how they see it. And so that's why when you see engines like this, you may say, well, why is for example, say the RAV4 Highlander, why has it got the similar engine? I think it's kind of close of the Tacoma, but it gets less fuel economy. For example, let's just say you look at a Toyota SUV. Let me just say it differently. Look at a Toyota SUV versus a truck. And you're like, why does a SUV get better fuel economy? It's how the engineers set that up and how they perceive the customer to use it, which is called duty cycle. There you go. Learn something new. Also, let's see, what else could we got tonight? That's it. That's all I got. I got it all done. So check out the website. Like I said, I'll put the link down below. Join the forum. Big fan over there. I've been answering questions all day over there. Especially if you have emailed me questions, just go to the forum. We're sharing information for everybody. I think it makes a lot more sense. And I think it just works a lot better. So for more videos and details, check them over here. Website down below as well, pickuptrucktalk.com. As always, thanks for watching. I will see you down the road.